welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD
and Kat.
So, SB19, we're back with the second episode of Casual Chuck's docu-series.
Cool.
It's 2 videos in a row now, watching Casual Chuck stuff. Thank you. Make sure you're subscribed to him. I am. So this one is called The Zone.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll find out more about their journey. So the last one, we got introduced to each member and how they came to be a part of the group.
Mm.
So I'm assuming this is going to be
Picking up from there.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Cool.
Yeah. So please remember to like, comment and subscribe. In the comments, what surprised you the most? What piece of information surprised you the most? I feel like we need a name for our viewers.
Disclaimer, this video is only based on my personal research. I might miss some details and it's possible to have discrepancies, but I did my best to get as much accurate information as possible, so enjoy. Just a quick correction to episode 1, Josh didn't only recruit Ken, but also Justin. Josh told Justin about the workshop, which gave him the opportunity to become a Show BT trainee. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the video.
So Josh is the recruiter.
Mm.
Everyone has that one thing that makes them feel good about themselves. Like they're in control. Everything else could be going completely haywire.
Ano ba yan, Stel? Ano yung ayos na yan? Talagang style yan.
Like the world is completely falling apart around you.
Minsan na makita ng tao kung gaano kami naghihirap.
But when you're doing that one thing, life is wonderful. And that makes everything worth it.
몬테로 씨, 검사 결과가 나왔습니다.
임신인가요?
아니요, 임신은 아닙니다.
Then why do I feel weak lately?
Mrs. Montero, you are HIV positive.
Addie Hong. She could have easily become a popular celebrity in the Philippines. Back in Korea, she was a well-established theater actress, a vocal, dance, and beauty coach, a one-woman show. But instead, she chose to use her experience to guide and nurture the boys to reach their highest potential. Along with Tat and Robin, she was also one of the main reasons why SB19 is where they are now. She is popularly known as Miss Hongganda, and we will see her often in this video. Before SB19's debut, they tried to establish an online presence. So on May 16, 2018, they created their Facebook page. This could possibly be the unofficial date they were formed. They started posting song covers like these.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through it. I hope he buys you flowers, I hope he holds your hand.
And dance covers like these.
Lean with it, down with it, hit them both now bad with it. Then you stop.
They became more active in social media while maintaining their regular performances in small events. They did this until it was almost time for their debut.
We have good news for you guys. Kasi after the very, very long
So
wait,
cute.
finally, we will be releasing our debut single entitled Tira Luha!
October 26, 2018. SB19 finally debuted with their ballad single called Tila Luha. But did you know that it wasn't the only song that they had at the time? They also had Love Goes, but they chose to debut with Tila Luha to capture the hearts of the Filipino people because the lyrics are in Tagalog. They then started promoting their debut song in every way they could think of. November 17, 2018 marked SB19's first ever live stream to promote their debut single.
Magsimula natin ang first SB Time Camp Facebook Live. Pasok! Oh, ganyan po. Three.
They look so small.
10 viewers.
Despite the very few viewers, they went all out to entertain them.
여러분, 저는 너무 배고파요.
Hi, did already get. Wait. Season, sa wakas, dumating na rin ang oras na aking pinakahihintay. Matagal-tagal na rin nagsaray. Sige lang, sigihan makapit para bang wala pang angabang nadarama. Bigay mo na, machine gun, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Oh!
Yep, they did all that in front of just a little over 10 viewers. You can still watch the whole live stream to this day on their official Facebook page. They also perform in schools, malls, nursing homes, and even orphanages, but their debut only received a lukewarm reception. The stream count didn't move as fast as they had hoped for. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. But their grind continued. After the disappointing debut, they started preparing for a comeback.
Today, nandito kami sa recording studio. Nagre-record kami ng kanta namin. Ito mismo yung parang kwento ng SB19.
Yung lyrics mismo ng song namin is about pangarap ng SB19. Paano nagsimula yung lahat.
Ito po talaga yung kantang gugulat sa lahat.
They collaborated with a critically acclaimed Korean producer, Oh Won Lee, who's behind the success of TVXQ and Stray Kids. Pablo, with the help of the boys, wrote the song as they began to enter the go-up era. They started practicing their go-up dance routine, which was intricately choreographed by Stel and Ken. They were required to practice 30 times daily until they reached 1,000 reps. And boy, they did it. They were even challenged to perform the dance routine at double speed. Yep, that was not even a fast forward. Now that they have reached the quota, it was time for them to shoot the music video. July 19, 2019. SB19 dropped their Go Up music video. Expectations were higher because this was the song that showcased their singing, dancing, and songwriting skills. But for some reason, it has also met a lukewarm reception. They then started promoting the song using the methods they know. They even reacted to their own music video. But none of their efforts made a significant impact. After that, you would think that it was the biggest setback. But not until August 17, 2019. This was when the Go Up press conference happened. This was supposed to be an effort for them to establish a presence in the media world. They were interviewed by professional journalists, but instead of receiving a warm welcome, most of what they got was straight out disrespect.
Pero kanina pa ako ba? Ano ba yan, Stel? Ano yung ayos mo yan? Talagang style yan?
What do they mean?
Hindi lang yung Stel,
Oh.
Kasi po, feeling ko
Sylvester, yeah.
Ako, Sylvester.
Marami.
Opo, kasi po yung papa ko po, idol niya po si Sylvester sa ano, kaya niya po pinasa yung dito po. Tapos po, yung style ko naman po ngayon, actually po,
His look reminds me of
ano lang po yung naisip ko,
from Shiny.
naisip ko, sige, ganito na lang po, parang ganito po, ito lang po yung naisip ko. Pero wala po.
So lahat kayo.
Oh,
straight.
Opo.
who cares? What's that got to do with anything?
May gulot po. May gulot po. Ako lang, sa kanin po gulot talaga ako, wala naman po masama doon.
Thank you.
Kasi po, madalas po siya yung since matagal na po kami magkaibigan, Bruce din po kasi siya madalas sa mga babae. So siguro po, baka po akalain yung medyo weird po yung
Kasi kami kapag mo, parang mag-tracker.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Bakit mo Esther sa umaga,
Please tell me that person doesn't have a job anymore.
Meron lang po siguro, medyo meron lang po siya parang manners na weirdly, pero hindi po, wala po sa isang
Nag-hear na kanina yung about sa maging issue. Kasi sabi nyo kanina may mga pahol. Sa kaya.
Hindi kayo nagpapakala sa grupo na hindi kayo pinipili kung yan.
Hindi po kami nababagay kasi po,
Weird, because no one asked if you were.
Despite all the judgment, they handled the interview professionally. As the event concluded, the boys broke down to tears backstage and comforted each other. Perhaps they're just human beings, and the thick skin they develop all throughout those years can only take so much punishment, especially when it went straight to their hearts. They all broke down. This made them question themselves if they were still doing the right thing. It casted so much doubt that it made them all decide to call it quits. Everyone left, except Stel. He received the most hate, but he was the one left standing. Perhaps he was a good example of someone who has entered the zone. Someone who managed to tap into the altered state of consciousness where time disappears and he becomes so focused that not even judgment could stop him from doing what he loves.
That's amazing.
But he knew for a fact that he can never do it alone. And there he was, alone. But only for a moment. Josh had a realization to not give up because people have not seen everything yet. This prompted the other members to return and witness their lives change in just one fateful day when their Go Up dance practice got uploaded on YouTube on September 2, 2019. It quickly went viral, which opened a lot of doors for SB19 to have TV guestings and live performances.
May grupo ha? Okay. Sige.
I want a group hug.
introduce yourself.
Get in the zone, break. Hi, we are SB19.
My name is Mike Spice Ganda. I am the wittiest ABS.
As the world started to notice them, their YouTube channel grew exponentially. Their dance practice video reached 1 million views in just a week, then 2 million a month later. Wait a minute, who's Arum? November 2, 2019.
So for the final announcement of the fandom name, 3, 2, 1. Una-una sa lahat, pag pinatay mo siya, 18 siya, di ba? 18. So kasi kami, SB19, 18, 19.
Ah.
So if there's no 18, then also there's no SB19.
Yes. Kasi kumbaga, siyempre, 18 muna pag natin, 17, 18, 19. Pag natin 18, hindi makakasin sa 19. Another meaning. So if you're going to read this, 18, it could also be read as Ati. So, all the success, all the, lahat ng natatamo natin ngayon, atin to, ours. Everything is ours. Hindi lang sa amin, kundi sa inyo rin. Atin. Everyone. Atin. Kumbaga, represent. Kumbaga, yung dreams natin, pangarap, problems, everything, we will share together. Atin yan, lalaban tayo, kaya natin yan lahat. Lastly, gusto talaga namin i-special mention yung or sa lahat-lahat. Kasi sa totoo lang, talagang sila yung unang sumuporta sa amin nung hindi pa nila, wala pang nakakakilala sa amin sa grupo namin. Kaya thankful kami. Kaya nakahiwala yan, A, ibig sabihin yan, Oro. Okay, Oro at SB na. Oro at SB. Sana po masaya po kayo sa lahat sa fandom name na nagawa po ng grupo namin. And katulad na po, 18, atin, sama-sama tayong kaangat. We will go up.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when 18 was born. So what does it mean to be in the zone? Was it really only Stell that entered it? If you think about it, even before the other members decided to quit, they were already done with the dance practice. That alone made the press conference irrelevant. It didn't even matter that it happened. It turned out that actually all of them have always been in the zone.
Okay,
What's
what's
The
that?
zone is what allowed them to defy all the odds. It was the zone that allowed a 5-foot man in the NBA. It was the zone that allowed a man living in the streets to rise up and become a billionaire.
So breaking barriers.
It was the zone that took an idea from someone's head to the moon. It was the zone that won wars, and lack of it had lost. It is the zone that separates their ideas and dreams from a materialistic reality. Manny, Efren, Catriona, SB19. What do they have in common?
Okay, so yeah, more about debut, the work they were putting in, and how it started. Oh, you have to channel some anger, don't you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is why I can't be in public relations, because I'd have told that reporter where to stick it.
But this is where I would struggle in what we do, because imagine you've got a press pass, you're in that room, to not turn around and go, hey, how about you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? Who cares?
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Yeah.
I mean, even if the Philippines is, I don't know if they're quite strongly conservative society, which I know is a problem in South Korea as well, obviously because we're into idol groups and whatnot. But I don't know if those sorts of, would those sorts of questions still be asked today? I don't know.
Is that a normal thing to ask?
I'm trying to hold back the anger and trying to be considerate of, well, I wonder if the cultural
it may be
is
a
that
common
more
question.
I don't know, but obviously for us, we think those questions are completely unacceptable. And if you've got an artist, which there is a balance, because an artist wants to invite people into their lives to a certain extent, but you still have to respect certain boundaries. But some people don't pick up on that. I don't have the right to ask you about certain things. If you willingly share that information with me, then we're blessed to have it. But the fact that they just so freely and blatantly were happy to ask about someone's sexual orientation, and I was like, that's none of your business.
The fact that it was so directed at one member as well, it wasn't a general question. That was an attack on someone.
But good for them, I will say. That probably helped them develop an even thicker skin, and they all handled it with class. Do you know what I mean? So that's really cool to them.
And I have seen people have said this in the comments, and I think we saw it there, that Josh often will take the role as defender and spokesperson, because he's the person that stepped in there to I said he was very professional in keeping his cool and what he said, but he was clearly drawing a line. This is how this is, and he clearly was let's move on.
And you could even see and I imagine they would have this all of it for each other, but he even sat forward in his chair as in protective, no, he was almost making a physical boundary of it's really interesting. But no, it's let's just hope it gets better for reporters asking questions and whatnot. But ridiculous.
That's the kind of person, I'm sorry, but I'd be like, no, you shouldn't have a job as a reporter because you're not actually here gathering any information or anything.
Well, also your point as a journalist, your role is to be unbiased and collect facts and things rather than to pass on your own unconscious biases.
Yeah.
Or not unconscious biases, as very obvious biases as it may seem. You're supposed to be gathering information and reporting back those facts.
Well, like
but
you said,
yet
at
you're
one
coming
point,
in with the skewed, you must justify this to me because of my personal
Then he also
beliefs.
said at one point, well, I am bothered. And it's
Yeah.
like, but no one asked if you were bothered.
It's not about you being bothered.
You're not the one being interviewed.
This is about you taking them as artists and what the messaging they're delivering and then sharing that information. And then people can decide whether they are for them or not.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting that reporter was very much wanting to report based off of their own narrative and opinions rather than being a journalist of these are the facts I'm gathering and I will report. I don't know, interesting. But I thought they all looked adorable, especially Stell.
I think they did. I think they looked great. Like I said, he really reminded me of
Junkie.
from
Shiny.
Shiny.
With that little with the blonde hair
jawline
and the braces.
and the blonde hair.
And the braces, yeah. Oh.
And that's a compliment.
It is. Oh, it's one of my biases, yeah.
No, and seeing, you know, the amount of work that goes in. I mean, we know that they put in all that work, but it's still hard to wrap your head around 30 times a day.
That's, wow. Yeah. That is extra. That is a lot. For sure. But what's really cool about that is that would have added to them bonding.
Yeah.
Spending all that time together, sweating together, trauma bonding, you know what I mean? It really would have. So it probably was making some fusion in other ways that they were like, we're going to practice, so we're perfecting this, but actually it probably their chemistry all together, it probably just made them stronger in other ways as well.
Well, like with the end of the interview, it said that they all left.
And they all cried.
Yeah. But again, I feel like sometimes was that each individual member maybe not thinking group wise, but thinking, I need to go and take a moment for myself so that I don't put this on the group, my upset. So I'm going to go off, not realising everybody's doing the same.
Yeah.
And then all coming back together.
Yeah. But it's, sometimes you get that clarity if you step away from something. And then if your heart still yearns for it, you know, but if you don't have the space to take that breath when you're in it. So I totally get that. And I love that. I
would have needed a moment to calm my anger.
Oh gosh, yeah. But I love the fact they all stepped away from it. Apart from Stell, he was like, no.
Yeah.
But then they were all like, no, you know what? There's still something here. It's worth fighting for. But sometimes you don't know that until you step away. So.
And do you know what? As they said, like they've received a lukewarm reception on the first few songs. In a way, that can be better than blowing up immediately.
Yeah.
You haven't got immediate, because it's like with YouTube. My channel, it's grown steadily, and I watch other people blow up overnight from one video. And there is a bit of, why aren't I as big? But do you know what? I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Yeah.
That instant pressure. You know, that steady growth, it's more organic. Again, you've had people that have been there since the beginning.
And it's genuine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than...
And it helps you to stay humble, I think.
Yeah.
Having to build it rather than immediately being told, you're the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You're doing everything right. And think of how many songs, as much as you don't want anyone to go through a bad journey, how many songs we would have got from that.
Yeah. They've had more writing experiences to write from struggle, which is amazing that they've put it into something. But when you, like they would have set a bar for themselves.
Yeah.
And then they'd have to maintain. So the pressure suddenly to maintain that would have been harder. But also, I think that kind of overnight success, going viral, things like that, you can get very fickle people that are because it's a trend, rather than people that were pre-debut or from debut and just steadily growing genuine supporters, which are, they're going to stay there rather than because it's a, you know, a fickle trend or whatever.
Yeah, I think
so. You can slow and steady, but stronger.
You build a longer career that way.
Yeah, and more genuine, rather than people that would just leave you if you don't hit that again.
I mean, how often here do you have a song on the radio that is everywhere, everyone's talking about this person, they're all over TV, and then within a couple of months you suddenly, what happened to them?
Yeah, it's because, such a harsh industry. Yeah. So yeah,
they're so cute.
Really good. Oh, we were getting some little flashes, teasings of other things.
Josh didn't have a shirt on.
That we need to see. I saw Pablo at one point like throw a card or something at the camera, and he was like standing in a grey outfit or something, and I don't know what it was, but I need it.
Josh had no shirt on. That's all I can. Yeah.
Josh had no shirt on.
Yeah. They were wearing something like black and red, and they were coming towards.
Yes.
Josh
saw
had
that.
no shirt on.
Okay, we're gonna have to rewind that back because I didn't see that bit. But I saw,
I'm sure I'm right. I could be imagining it. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, whatever that was, it looked great.
But what I love as well is that they are. I mean, we're coming into it now, so they're men now, and seeing them then, you're like, oh, you were so young.
They're very sweet.
Look at you.
They're very sweet. Yeah, they worked really hard. So I'm glad it's building for them.
It's also nice that Casual Chuck adds in people like the guy who started the label and started the group, and the lady.
Yes.
Just these people behind the scenes that probably get forgotten in the grand story, which actually have had an input.
I really like his editing as well. The intro, outro with all the graphics. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I wonder how you do that.
And also the reference of someone asking about being like a Korean group.
See, that was strange to me because, and again, I'm obviously not in the Philippines, so I don't know how that was received, but from my wider understanding, from what I've learnt of groups from Japan and in sort of South Asia and whatnot, that is a compliment to be compared to a Korean group because they set a very high standard. If they were saying, well, you're presenting, and if it's an industry that's booming, then why is that a bad thing? Because from what I've seen, their first debut song as well was obviously a Tagalog song.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not embracing their culture.
Yeah.
They said they chose that debut song instead of the other one because it connected with the Filipino people. So it's like, if they're presenting themselves with a work ethic and the dancing and everything that is obviously popular because of K-pop, but yet they're still connecting with their Filipino culture, that's the best of both, isn't it? And if they were bringing something new...
But then I don't know anything about Filipino music, so I don't know whether they have a kind of what they call a Filipino style, and whether if they're doing something that's much more like K-pop, whether it's one of those things where if you do the same as everybody else, you're boring. Why are you doing the same as everybody else? Be original. But if you're doing something different, it's why are you being like that? You're not one of us. You know, it's you can't win.
Yeah, you're right. Were they sort of the first group to do this? Because obviously we've had in the comments people telling us about girl groups and other guy groups since this, but were SB19 the first group to do this? Was this new for the Philippines?
Boundary pushing.
Yeah, for the Philippines. But yeah, like from my perspective, if someone was to say a comparison to an industry that is booming, that's kind of a compliment.
But it may also be, again, people's personal...
Well, we already know
biases.
that some of those reporters were having their own, clearly bringing their own biases.
We have it as K-pop fans that people will say, oh, you like K-pop. And they've got this idea of what K-pop is and that they don't like it with no understanding. So it could be that the person asking is someone who has decided, I don't like that. And if you do anything with any similarities, then it must be bad.
That's so crazy for a journalist.
I know.
Your job is to be open-minded and to go and research and find out. So yeah, just again, shocking.
So that was our reaction to Casual Chuck's SB19 docu-series episode 2, The Zone. And I liked his idea of, the zone being people that can focus on something and push themselves
and
to make it happen.
Breaking boundaries.
Yeah.
Breaking the norm.
I'm not one of those people. I'm too lazy for that. But, he gave examples of people that have made it happen for themselves.
Yeah.
So,
which is very cool. Yep.
I'd be dangerous with that kind of work ethic. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.